This is Zoe the Zinger. Um, just another little podcast of sorts today. It's been a weird week. Finally getting off to a start after a kind of a dreary day yesterday. It was kind of cloudy and balmy most of the day, and then it cleared out and was a beautiful, cool evening and a beautiful, cool day today, sunny and clear. I've been going to the public library up the street here lately to charge the phone and computers and to write and just get out of the house. This house is so rancid that you just don't want to hang around here long. And this neighborhood is not much better. It's a rancid, sort of in transition urban neighborhood abutting the suburbia further north and further west and east. I'm, I like the location. It's close to everything, but it's such a depressive neighborhood to live in. A lot of dysfunction, social dysfunction around here. Trash everywhere. People don't give a shit. They got the attitude all the time, popping an attitude in your face. Homeless people wandering the streets around here, living in the woods and doing the hustle. It's not a nice place to return home to after sitting in jail and the nut house for 9 months straight and seeing the dysfunction that you see doing that. But at least I got my bank straight. Finally got in touch with them. They're sending me a new debit card, and I changed the password and username on the account, so now I can remember it and get in there and manage my money. I'm still going to have my direct deposit from Social Security go on my Bluebird Amex card, which they never give me any trouble. I should have never switched it. That's when the problem started. Needless to say, they didn't steal any money, though. It's all there. Significant sum now, but it's spoken for. I've got so many things to buy, so many things to, that I've done without, or that I ran out of before all this started with this mental crisis, if you will, this conspiracy, I call it, because that's what it was. Needless to say, I ran out of everything. The house is a mess, and the yard's a mess, and so much needs to be fixed or replaced. My computer's got all fucked up. I don't know what they did to them. I'm just buying new ones. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not going to throw them away, but I'll put them aside and deal with them later and see if I can get them running right. But the hard drive's got some kind of lock on them somebody put on there during this conspiracy. So you can't access your information, can't save it, can't format it, to install a new copy of Windows, can't do shit with it. So I'm just not even going to bother to try. I'm buying 2 new laptops, a used desktop, and I'm buying a hot swap hard drive device where I can just plug in the drives as I use them, and I'm going to have 2 16 tetrabyte hard drives, and I'm just going to clone each one and have a clone put away in a care bag. I'm going to put together 2 care bags with cigarettes, nicotine gum, a little bit of money on a prepaid debit card, maybe a Starbucks card, some hygiene material, flashlights, batteries, you name it, the essentials you need to live on the street, to survive on the street and to survive in the dark with no water like I have here lately. When I got out of jail, I had nowhere to go, no friends, and no money, not a dime to my name for weeks now. I've been going without money. My English friend sent me a little bit, but she doesn't have a lot of money either. So I spent that, and I pawned a few things I had, and I've got to pay all that back. And when I do get my money. So, and I got to fix my truck and get that running again. So, everything's taking my money. but I'm going to try to put away $1,000 and split it up to two prepaid debit cards, and I'm going to have one in each care bag and one Starbucks card in each care bag prepaid with coffee money on it. And I might put a fast food gift card in there of some variety in each one, either that or a grocery store card, with essential, a couple $100 on it. So I'd have food if this ever happened again. I hope it doesn't, but judging from my past with this mental health crap, this stuff crops up out of the blue. And, this latest incident was the worst I've ever had before. I think it's related to my brother dying and me being totally on my own, alone, living now. And I think the county does have a group of people, unbeknownst to anybody, going around harassing mentally ill people, disabled people, and low-income people, trying to get them out of the neighborhood and into these group homes that they're making money off of, and shut up any opposition that these people might raise about things going on in the county. And, I think they really are using mental health as cover because, everybody just blows that off as you being crazy and not taking your medicine, instead of acknowledging the facts at hand and seeing them for what they are. And there's a lot of facts surrounding what happened to me that have never been answered to and have never been resolved. Stuff that just makes no sense, craziest stuff you ever heard of. My favorite is the ambulance ride in a circle downtown on an interstate exit when they were chasing me trying to get my Hoover file. They had two ambulances and I got in the wrong one, and they ran me in a circle, would not take me to the hospital I wanted to go to, and would not even go a block up the street to the hospital that was there, VCU Medical Center, and I know they had space for me there. It's a Trauma One medical center, and there's no reason they couldn't have taken me there. They ran me all across town into the west end of Henrico, almost caused kidney failure. That time, that was the first incident, and then from there on out, it was downhill all the way into starvation diet. They locked up my debit card so I couldn't access my Social Security money. They stole money off my EBT card so I would have no money to eat. And, it ended up me going to jail for shoplifting because I was so desperate. I just wanted something to eat and drink. And fortunately, the judge got rid of it, but I shouldn't have had to go through all that. And I do blame the mental health community, or industry as I call it, because I think they were innately involved, and I think there were a lot of unknown players in this in the county that are using mental health to harass people and abuse people like this because they can't get their way any other way. But, I could go on and on about it. No one's going to believe me, but I know what I experienced, and I know that I didn't imagine this stuff and then just pull the stuff out of thin air, out of the sky. These are things that happen. There's evidence of them happening, and I still have evidence here at the house where the computers, being all fucked up, they're still fucked up by someone coming in this house and fucking with those hard drives on those computers. And, they came in this house to put in high-speed internet, a double line. I had two lines running in here, one of which was not mine and which I never ordered, and it just appeared, and there it was. And I didn't even know it existed. And then I get a bill for hundreds of dollars from Verizon for something that I wasn't even aware that they even put in the first place and did not order. So they really fucked me over real bad this time. So I have no sympathy in saying what I have to say about the mental health industry and those, people running a conspiracy, because I think they are, and I think this will come out in later years at some point. Who knows if I'll be around or not to see it, but it's going to come out. they're up to no good. And this whole incident was, part of that. They just trying to use my mental health state, being bipolar, as cover and trying to just write it off as a medication issue when it had nothing to do at all with medication. Didn't start that way and had nothing to do with it while it was going on. So that's my 2 cents on that. Then this evening, I got home from the library. I charged my phone to 100% finally. Charged 3 batteries for my big computers. Charged a little Chromebook that I converted to Linux. And now I'm out making coffee in the shed, heating water in the shed on the wood stove with some old wood and some firewood he had back there. So I'm cooking that for dinner. I really prefer a burger or some fried chicken, but no money. I got about $1.38 on my Bluebird card and maybe 50 or 60 cents in my pocket. I don't even think I could get a cheap beer. I'd like to have a nice cold beer. I got a Foster's beer the other day that was ice cold, and boy, did I enjoy it. I hadn't had a beer in so long. It was the most enjoyable beer that I had had in a long, long time. So I enjoyed that. But I don't drink all the time like I used to. And, I don't want to get on a big rut of drinking again. However, sometimes it's good to have a nice cold beer or some couple of glasses of wine and sleep it off, or just have a couple and enjoy it and not really get fucked up at all. Those days are gone for me. But I'm not going to worry about it like I used to. I used to have a zero tolerance policy after I had my liver disease. But after these people tried to kill me 2 or 3 times, these mental health people, or whoever they're conspiring with did, I just don't give a shit about that anymore. The liver doctor said my liver was doing exceptionally well anyway, so if it kills me drinking a little bit of beer again and wine again, then so be it. I won't have to deal with these shitheads ever again. And they can take their pills and shove them up their ass too. And it won't bother me one bit, because this world has gone to shit. And it's been a shithole for a long, long time, probably since Ronald Reagan was president. It was just started to become a shithole, and now it's just the biggest shithole you ever saw. I'm no fan of life in this world, I'll tell you that. But that's another story. Um, but anyway, I'm cooking tonight. I got home before it got dark. I've been staying at the library late, so I've been coming home when it gets dark and you can't really see to cook back there with no power. So I glad I got home early today and can cook a little something. Had my first cup of coffee this week. I had a lot of coffee Saturday when I went to Starbucks, but I haven't had any since. So I got some instant that's pretty good. So I'm going to make that, and I got some rice I'm going to make it with some diced guacamole, tomatoes, and some pepper, and I'm going to mix it with some tuna fish too, and that'll be my meal for tonight. I don't really have much for tomorrow night to eat, so I hope those debit cards come. I have about $8 on a PayPal card, and I have uh, a significant sum on the other bank card from Social Security. And that's the one I really want to get, so I can start paying the power and water and fix the truck and get these computers straight and just get back to some normal semblance of normalcy. Been writing a lot finally. I couldn't write when I was in the nut house. Certainly couldn't do it in jail. So it feels good just to sit up there at the library and sit back and write, and so I've been doing that. And I'm trying to get away from um, putting everything on a hard drive now. I'm going to start using the USB keys to put stuff on, important stuff anyway, and just archive it also on a hard drive too, but have my most important stuff on a keys. and some of my creative stuff on a key, so that I don't have to worry about, like this time, with all my stuff up in the cloud and I can't access it, can't download the stuff. I had just made this stuff online only a couple of months before this happened, and that's what really fucked me over, because I don't have a copy on a hard drive of what I have in the cloud. Not an exact copy, I have an old copy, and I don't have the password to get in there, and God knows what trouble it'll be to call them and fix that, if they can even fix it or are willing to fix it. But I need to get that fixed, because that was my main account, and I had a lot of YouTube channels under that account I don't want to lose, but I'm saving that for another day. I'm work on that once I get power and water again, and can sit back here on the phone for 5 hours fucking around with the phone tree. So that's the state of life here. Hannah's been running around. I gave her a whole can of tuna fish and she didn't eat it. I was surprised. She's been eating like a horse. She's running out of cat food again. She's the center of my life. First transgender feline. I love her to death. Little Hannah, transgender feline. First feline who's transgender. And she's my transgender love. And she's just roaming around, sticking close to me. That part is like old times. I'm so glad she didn't lose her affection for me and attachment. I was so worried about that in the nut house and jail. I thought she'd run off and be homeless herself again, and I'd never see her, so I was so happy to see that she hadn't, and even happier that the neighbor took care of her while I was gone, so she didn't lose too much and she didn't go hungry. But it's just finally snapping into things, and finally getting some semblance of normalcy again. But still a long way to go. I'm trying to get my Facebook back, but I haven't heard from them. I emailed them about it, but who knows if I'll ever get it back. But I'm going to try and just pick up where I left off. I really need to make some friends and have a couple of friends to depend on if I need it. But I'm just not good with the social things and never have been. And people just don't relate to me or like me very much, I guess. So don't make many friends, and certainly don't do very well with the girls, being that I have that transgendered part of me, Girls want to be friends with real girls, or they want a girlfriend that's a real girl. They don't want some half-assed queen like me running around. Seems that way anyway. It'd be nice to have a girlfriend, just someone you could be close to and share things with and go out and do stuff with. But I don't think I'll see it. I was so disappointed I lost touch with Kimberly and Caitlin at the Wawa during this past incident. I don't know what happened with Caitlin, but Kim, I think, just moved on to other things in life. She just got out of school and finished, so I don't know what happened to her, but I suspect that's what she's probably doing. But Caitlin, now that's another story. I don't know who got to her or what she was told about me or what, but she really freaked out and was in bad shape the last time I saw her, and it was like somebody went up there and put the fear of God in that girl about me, and she just, it was the weirdest thing. It still is. I don't think I'll ever run into her again, but you never know. I really liked her, just in a friend kind of way, and I wanted to be, a good part of her life, not a distraction. But I guess it didn't work out that way, did it? So it goes. And Kimberly, well, we had our marriage moment. It was so profound. I still can't believe it. She prettied up for me, and she was beautiful. Oh, she was so beautiful. And it was like, God, I wanted to ask her out so bad, but I had already told her I wasn't going to bug her that way, but I think she wanted me to. I didn't know what to say. I should have just asked her. Maybe we could have gone out and done something. Maybe I would have had a friend. But then again, with the sensitive being what it was, maybe it's a good thing I didn't get with anybody too close because I wouldn't want to bring them into this mess that my life became because of this incident. I refer to it as. And boy, that's the longest time I've ever had to deal with that shit. 9 months of your fucking life, almost a year lost to that mental health industry. And, I'll never forgive them for it. And all that attitude they pop about the group homes and the cult of homelessness they want to promote if you don't agree with them and all that crap. They're so full of shit, they're just full of shit. There's only a few of them that are halfway decent, that aren't like that, but, they're in lower level positions where they got to take orders from the top, and they can't do much, so you're fucked coming in going. But I don't want to go on about it, but I may write that book about this last incident. I don't know what I'm going to title it, but I think I am going to write about it and put it to words what it really was, and people can shoot me down or you know acknowledge me or not acknowledge me or call me crazy. I know what I went through and I know what's real and what ain't. And I know that all that shit that happened to me had a lot more to do with something a lot bigger than just mental health medications. Put it that way. So that's my 2 cents. Once again, I just can't get away from it. It burns my ass so much. But I'll end here. But I want to do more of these little podcasts just because it's easy and it's a little different. So there you have it, Zoe.